FAIRTRADE for me is it's more than just a certification. It's about empowering people and taking charge of their life and replacing back those values that has been taken away years ago.
FAIRTRADE for me is a better living in the sense of my boasting of my self-esteem. It gives me self-confidence and a better life for all who is part of FAIRTRADE.
It's become part of who we are and become part of our lifestyles.
When I think about climate change, I think we should really start to get working.
Dit lijkt voor mij, ik raak hier zo plekken bekommerd.
Ons moeten een beetje wakker worden.
The Hayveld is a cooperative of small-scale farmers producing organic and fair trade rooibos tea.
This tea is quite nice. Where does it come from? And who is the Hayveld cooperative?
It is quite interesting, hey? Maybe we should go and ask Leslie from the Hayveld cooperative.
Hi Leslie, we wanted to find out more about the Hayveld cooperative.
Well, the Hayveld started actually in 2000, but before that, the people of the state Koelle, they didn't have a market for their rooibos tea. So they went on exchange visits to Wuppertal, to France van der Westhuizen, and some organic farmers.
So after the exchange visits, they decided to form a cooperative to cut their production costs and to make the market more accessible for the group in a cooperative. In 2002, the Hayveld advertised a job, and I applied for the job because my parents is also farmers and they're also members. So I knew that the Hayveld was the only thing they were talking about and they were excited about it.
Hard sal maar net hard werk kos aan goed beplan en uit te vermoë en soos net gesê het aan aanhou, aan moed hou, aan glo, aan vertroue het. Dit eigenlijk is mij allemaal bij elkaar maken zitten en één zaak en dan ga je te werk.
Following a severe drought that lasted 3 years, the farmers decided to explore strategies to make their farming practices more resilient. Wild rooibos tea promised to be a good alternative to the planted variety of rooibos.
The wild organic rooibos is a very special tea. It grows wild in the veld. You don't have to plant it. It is very good if it's very dry. It still performs at its best. We had a very bad, or how do you say, drought, and most of the members planted tea died, but the wild didn't die. It was still growing and the production was still there. So that's the reason why I say it can survive the droughts. But the normal rooibos, the planted rooibos, it usually die if it's very dry.
The Hayveld Co-op has a policy to create employment in the local community, adding value to their products while improving livelihoods, especially for women.
So this was the Hayveld's first packaging, and this bag is actually made by our women's groups, because in the past the woman was like left behind, and the Hayveld felt that if they can have their own jobs, they can provide for their family and they can have their own money as well. Okay. And It's packaged in town further with this wire by a packaging team. It's also part of Highveld to provide jobs to our local community.
Okay.
But that was back then. From this to that, I think for me personally it's a big step for the Highveld.
In all this, the fair trade partners of the Highveld have been crucial. They have supported the self-determined development of the Highveld while offering fair prices and helping to make the Highveld Co-op and their story known throughout the world.
For me it was absolutely stunning to see how much trouble they do to market Highveld's rooibos tea and how good actually the tea is selling in the overseas market. And it's also good to see that they use even the Highveld tea in restaurants, in big places where people just wear black suits and ties. For me it was very impressive to see that. And also in big supermarkets. So for me is fair trade, it's a good thing because the fair trade label is on the box. The story of Highveld is on the box, and it's a matter of, for me it was, this is how far we have gone so far.
The members decided to work with Indigo and EMG to monitor climate variability and to prepare for extreme climate and climate change. In quarterly workshops, the farmers discuss observations, strategies and seasonal forecasts with fellow farmers and scientists.
Ons is baie ernstig met aandag daarop gee ons als boere aan op ons eenvoudige manier sal ons moet dinge probeer om te beplan as ek reg het, sodat ons daarom kan weet want dit gaan so moet boerdery as dit mos nou nie reën die dan gaan dit moeilik met die boer.
Highveld has to make sure that there's always enough tea for exports and to satisfy their clients and the markets out there. So Highveld has measures in place. For example, they have 3 monthly workshops, and the Highveld members actively engages on the adaptation.
Want kyk, dis ook 'n baie belangrike punt, iets baie belangrik wat baie voordelig is. Jy weet dan wat aangaan. Rondom jou van die klimaatstelsel ook ingekom het. Jy hoor sien wat nog gaan aankom en dan na jou toe en wat as dit al verby gegaan het oor die tyd terug, dis die reënval vir goed is.
En as ek nog als trots op my opa dat hulle so baie hard gewerk het. En dit geldt ook vir ons kinders om ook op te let wat die groot mense vir ons agterlaat.
Die druppel wat ek kan julle maar by mekaar gemaak het ek nou in julle hande gesit. En as julle vergeet om julle hande toe te maak, dan kan ek help. Ek kan julle maar kan nie help. Maar as julle hande oop en op val weer daar die vingers. Nou as julle maar weer by julle gebegin het.
The weather is becoming more unpredictable. Markets are fickle. Fair trade partnerships, solidarity, strong networks and creativity can buffer some of these stresses.
And I will say, despite climate change and all these challenges we're facing, I'm also proud to say that fair trade is part of this future.